Greetings, fellow denizens of the night. This is Soror Astria of Magic Mirrors, and we're back with another new moon video, and this time it's in Aries, and it is now 4:15:18 space time, and it'll occur tonight at 9:57 p.m. So it's a good time to do your manifesting and wishing, and we'll cover that later. But now we've come to the 6-month point, so it gets to be a little bit more special now. The last Aries moon was in November, and that's when we began doing these videos. So now I think that y'all kind of have a grip on what the signs mean and how they're archetypal symbols, and they're like reading your horoscope in a newspaper. They're overly generalized, but when you work in bringing in your rising sign and moon sign, and we'll be able to cover this down the road because I think this is a series worth continuing. You change your relationship status to honey, it's a little bit more complicated. But we're going to go on a deeper dive into all the signs now, just a wee bit more. Even though they're archetypal, we've covered them all now. We've done 6 months of videos. That means we've covered 12 signs. And I think it's time to just go a little bit deeper into the signs and how maybe you can integrate that spirit into your life. So the next Aries moon will be on September 24th, so any seeds of intention you want to plant now, you want to look for the fall to harvest. And it's our 6-month point again. So the dark new moon is the time to plant the seeds, and I've been saying it again, but that was more of the internal. Now Aries is external. We're moving outside of ourselves and away from a lot of that heavy, deep, watery energy, and it's something a little more fiery, light, and fun. So you want to kind of relax and feel your way around in the dark of this moon without getting overly awash in the emotions. So you're feeling your way by using your truth and being bold about it, but not dramatic like Leo. So Aries is more of a passionate about its beliefs, but without being a shout from the rooftops kind of thing about it. So it's a quiet intensity, usually. So Aries is now the start of the new astrological year, so it is the initiator of the zodiac, kind of like the baby sign. Sorry kids, you're all babies. And almost like the new lamb. So as the year begins and you start out feeling the archetypes of the planets, if you're into that. And then we're going to go a little bit deeper here. When it comes to dealing with how you think that the planets affect you and whatnot, you have to remember that your cosmic starseed DNA, so to speak, is very individual, and you may or may not be aware of anything around you, including rocks that hit your butt. So, if you are very sensitive and you like to meditate and think about things or sit outside and look in the stars, if you're any kind of cosmically interested, maybe you can use the archetypal energies, which we're going to be discussing probably from now on forward, and using that, integrating your own personal space. So you're not going to say, I am an Aries, I am this and that and the other thing, but like, how can I use that Aries energy into my life? So you have to stop, slow down, and think about it. So this is maybe one time a month, 3 days before, 3 days after the new moon. Stop, slow down, and think about what you want to do with that energy, rather than we're just doing all these wishing manifestations all the time. So we're going to go a little bit different. So Aries energy is individual. It's trying to find truth as an individual within yourself, being bold and fearless about it, not worrying what other people are concerned about, what's going on in you. Mastery. It's the I am energy of the ego, and it may be egoistic. It does rule the head. So Aries starts with the head of the body, and we work our way down, and we'll go on into that later. So by conquering fear and using Aries energy, you're trusting in the universe to show you the way once you've asked for some direction. And it's also a letting go. We'll do chakra videos later, but it's almost like kind of working on a heart center thing. You're finding that truth within yourself. You're trying to feel that. So by feeling anything in a chakra, now we're branching out into things, but you want to work with universal energy. So you would put both your feet on the ground, ask for the universal light, God, whatever you ascribe to come down through you, and you're like a pillar of light. You're grounding yourself between heaven and earth. You are as above, so below. And as you ask for that energy to come into you, you can work with it better, ask for becoming more aware of opening a different chakra centers, and that's a whole nother series. But right now we're working on the heart and the head and connecting that to the universe and how to manifest powerful Aries energy in our life. So, Aries is ruled by Mars, co-ruled by Scorpio, which will be the next new moon, the next full moon, at the end of the month. And it's a heroic, passionate leaders. It's a masculine energy, independent. They're initiators of the zodiac, sensual, sexual. They're the archetypes. So who doesn't want to get with that? You can lose your patterns, smash your patterns by working within. Today I brought a bloodstone to class. So bloodstone doesn't show up on video. It's a green and red stone. It's kind of muddy brown. But by meditating on that, it brings out the warrior spirit in you, and it can detoxify your immune system to give you strength. As part of the warrior spirit, it clears your mind and clears away any ancestral toxicity, energy, bad whatnot that may have come down your bloodline. Maybe just kind of work with this and ask for your energy to be cleared in that way. And by doing that, you're able to give yourself another fresh start. So another way to harness Aries energy, if you are into ritualistic things, 3 days before, 3 days after the new moon, it's time to work with candle magic, working with fires. I forget what the actual word is when you light a fire and you stare into it and you look for dragons and pictures and things like that, but that's always fun to do too. So anything like that, keep it safe, kids. Do I even have to tell you Soror Astria says, do not leave fires unattended for too long without a bucket of water around? Okay, good, we're good. Okay, so what we were doing before was coming up with sample wishes. So because Aries energy deals with self-discovery, confidence, building yourself up a little bit, I'll give you some sample affirmations that you could work with. I want lots of energy and vitality. I want to view setbacks as opportunities to discover my own resourcefulness. Or I want total confidence in being myself. So those are good things to work with. Those affirmations and items like that are probably something you want to stick to your bathroom mirror. It sounds cheesy, but I guess it works. Because if you're like me, 10 minutes from now, you'll forget what you were affirming in the first place, and then you're kind of swimming around in the dark. What was I looking for again? And boy, I tell you what, that was a mouthful for Aries. So the next full moon will be in Scorpio. It's another water energy. Dirty sexual signs that we'll have to get into again and another deep dive. But I'll check you out at the end of the month. And have a good night. Bye-bye.